happens in these big games.
Question. So before we take up the
Won't feel that you're in England. They don't know the past. They don't know what excitement for some, not only on the field, off the field as well. Normally, when you see a game against India, people talk about if you want to become a star. Settle as far as the Pakistani side, they're not carrying.
India and Pakistan, two of the most fiercest rivals of the game, two of the most exciting units on the cricketing field, and thus their rivalry needs no introduction. A clash, rather a carnival, which is not common, is upon us. Today, on June 4th, Birmingham will be split in two halves when these two arch rivals will begin a new chapter in their glorious history. Hello everyone, I am Gautam Sodhi, and today on SportsWiki, I'll preview the high-octane clash between India and Pakistan with an eminent personality, someone who has represented India at the top level, someone who has rubbed shoulders with the greats of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the former Indian wicket-keeper batsman and ex-Delhi Ranji coach, Mr. Vijay Dahiya. Vijay sir, thank you for joining us on SportsWiki. So before we rush on to questions or before we take up the analytical aspect of the game, I would like you to introduce us to the exposure to what this game, to what the craziness is all about.
For some, this is what Champions Trophy is all about. This one game can summarize the whole tournament. A lot of people are waiting. You just mentioned about Birmingham. I think when you get into the stadium and the support that you're going to look around, you won't feel that you're in England. The kind of flags you will see there, the kind of tension will be there. Excitement for some, but it'll be tension, not only on the field, off the field as well. Because normally when you see a game against India and Pakistan, is always throw stars out. And that's what a lot of people talk about. If you want to become a star, these are the game to go out there and perform and become a star. But if you look at the talent on the park from the both side, I think there is a lot of difference. What you see in Indian side, what you see this current Pakistani side, there is a difference. No offense to the Pakistani team, but there is a huge difference as far as the experience is concerned as well. Indian team look more settled as far as the one-day cricket is concerned, more experienced than the Pakistan side. But there's a plus point for that to the Pakistani side. They're not carrying any sort of a baggage. They don't know the past. They don't know what happens in these big games. So in that sense, they have everything to play for. Few Indians, experienced Indian guys, they know what it takes to play a game between India and Pakistan. They're gonna think like that. But I think it's gonna be another good game as far as India-Pakistan is concerned. But not a top class sort of a game. If you look at the other side in the competition, there are better sides, there are better matches than this. But India-Pakistan, yes, they always have something in offer.
Well, definitely, since you have mentioned past, I think we need to take this into consideration that this is the only ICC event where Pakistan holds an upper hand. They've got a 2:1 ratio, as compared to the T20 World Cup or that to the World Cup. With this factor, they would be considering heading into this game.
Not at all. I think they'll be talking to themselves about this. If there is somebody in the dressing room and mentioning this, that we hold some sort of upper hand, but not against this Indian side. Like I just mentioned, it's a fantastic side. There's no doubt about that. Experience-wise, and the kind of wicket we're gonna play on. If you look at that wicket we talked about today's game, Birmingham, and normally you get a very very good batting surface here. If you're playing on that sort of a surface, like I just mentioned, you have to do something really special on a given day rather than thinking about what you have done in the past.
I think definitely talking about both these sides, they both have played two times in past, and ironically on the same ground in 2004 and 2013. But I think the results were different back then. And heading on to the Indian perspective now, I think let's talk about the warm-up game first. India, they have won both of their games convincingly, beating New Zealand in the first one and Bangladesh in the other. What do you have to take out of that?
I think these are very good. Let's think about why these are good. Are they good just for the numbers? No, they are good because you're in. Almost all the players were involved in the IPL. That's why it's very important to play a couple of practice games, you can do whatever you want to do in a practice, but the feel of the middle is completely different. So it's important that you played a couple of games, and it was very important. The most of the guys that you wanted to spend more time in the middle, they have done that, barring Yuvraj Singh, because when it comes to a big game like India and Pakistan, Yuvraj will be featured in today's game. That's the reason why he's in the 15. If he's fit, he'll be playing. He'll be definitely playing today. But I don't take too much into practice games. Like, look what happened to a game against Bangladesh and what they have done against England. I'm like, they bundle out under 100, and then there's almost 300 runs in the actual game. So it's good to start with. It's good to feel. It's good to feel assess the conditions and everything. But I won't take too much out of the practice games.
I think, well, we have talked about India being part of the practice game. Pakistan were also the part of 2 practice games, out of which they won. One against Bangladesh, and the other one, it was washed out against Australia in Birmingham. Since we have talked about the rain and the washing out, the games being washed out, there is a threat. All those games which has been scheduled to play at the Birmingham Stadium, I think there is a threat that they might get washed out. So what's your take on that?
Well, you can't control the uncontrollable, unfortunately, but you don't want to miss out. I mean, like we've been saying, today's game and the clash between India and Pakistan, you want to see a game. But nobody can control the rain. There's another twist to it. When you have these kind of conditions around, toss becomes a little more important. But most of the side want to chase, because with the Duckworth-Lewis rule coming in, you don't know what you're gonna get. So that's also start playing into your mind. Normally, if it's a fair condition, you don't think about anything. You think about the strength of your side. You look at your opposition as well at times, and then you go into it. But rain around, you change your decision at times.
Well, I think definitely. Now let's shift our focus to the Pakistani side. You, over the years, have seen great players, Imran Khan, Inzamam Ullah, being part of such a brilliant, glorious side. And now the scenario has been completely different. They don't have stalwarts with them. They've got youngsters. They've got promising talents, but they need experience. They've got someone like Shoaib Malik and Mohammad Hafiz in the name of experience. But do you think that would be enough for a side which has got a decent past in one-day records?
I think that's the difficulty. That's the reason why when we talk about in your first question, the comparison between the two sides is huge, experience-wise and even talent-wise. No harm. If they were playing in any different conditions, I would have said the youngsters that you talk about, they definitely hold a lot of promise. But when you're playing in England, it's a different condition. Your skills will be tested more, and if you don't have that, then your experience come handy. You mentioned about two names, Mohammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik. They will be the mainstay as far as their batting is concerned, and I feel that others need to play around them. So it becomes very important where they'll be featured in their batting lineup. Hafiz, will he open again, or he'll play at 3? Shoaib will be batting at 5 or 4. It'll be very important to see that, how they rally around these guys. But one-on-one, that's what the weak link, according to me, as far as their batting is concerned. Bowling, Mohammad Amir coming back, although he's playing again in England, and there's a bit of a phobia when he plays in England, although he's not playing against England, so there'll be less guys booing him. The important thing when you're playing India-Pakistan game, there's something that charges you. You look at the opposition and you get up for that moment. Wahab Riaz is, we all know what he's capable of. There is 3 left-arm fast bowler in their side. Will they go with all 3, or they'll use Hassan Ali? It'll be important to see. Hassan, I think he's played a couple of games and he's showed that he can bowl the heavy ball as well. They have the options how to go about it. But man on man, if you're trying to compare the two sides, Indian, you'll tilt towards the Indian side. They're loaded as far as the experience is concerned, and playing in these conditions as well.
Well, since we have shifted our focus on the 3 seamers of Pakistan side, the 3 left-handers, but there has been reports that Wahab Riaz is not really fit, and he might miss out on the clash against India, despite knowing the fact he took 5 wickets in the semi-final in 2011. But talking about them, do you see them pushing the weight above their head and surprising or maybe beating India into such an important clash?
I think, like you just mentioned, surprising. So they know that this Indian side is superior than them. This Indian side is much better than anything can happen in this game. Let's not forget about that. They have the capability. They have done that in the past. Will they do it? There's another thing about Pakistani side being so unpredictable. Do they have that options? Is a bit of my concern. We talked about 3 and that the reports that are coming in that we won't see Wahab playing today. He is the most experienced guy as far as the consistency is concerned last couple of years, who's playing regularly. Mohammad Amir is making a comeback. He was not on the scene for almost 5 years. Junaid Khan is another guy, who's been making a comeback in a Pakistani side, but he's been playing T20 all over the world. He's played in Bangladesh. He's played a bit of cricket in England. He was featured in the West Indian League as well. So he's been around. He's in touch with the game. He can be very handy as well. He knows the conditions really well. But what to follow? I mean, like, when you have only a couple of bowlers to bank on, Indian batting lineup is smart enough to wait for the next bowlers to come in and, count on counting on the guys that, they can take charge against. They have the bowlers. They have conditions. If conditions suits them, I mean, like, they can challenge the Indian batting lineup for sure. But still, I feel that they lack that sort of a penetration that you need to win a 50-over game.
Well, I think seen in the other day when Bangladesh was facing England, they have scored 300 plus runs. Batsmen, they went on to score good centuries. It was a fantastic batting display from them. When it came down to bowling, they were missing that X factor. Talking about Pakistan, they've got those new ball bowlers. But then who is there to bowl in the middle overs? They don't have an experience. Saeed Ajmal, maybe Mohammad, but they have to bank on someone like Shadab Khan, an 18-year-old who has been picked above Shah. He's been the former #1 bowler in Test, which seems to be a surprising decision by Pakistan. But do you see Imad Wasim, who is likely to be a part of the Pakistan side, along with another spinner, can kind of build up a pressure on the Indian batting lineup?
I think that's the big issue, and especially in 50-over cricket, that over number 15 to 35, that's where the game, who do you have that can challenge any batting lineup? You just mentioned about Bangladesh and England. If you look at two sides, Bangladesh batting looked really good, but England bowling was far superior. Still, they managed to go on and score 300, and that speaks about another thing about the kind of surface that you're going to get there. They're going to be heavily loaded in the favor of batsmen, but the condition, if it's overcast, the fast bowlers will definitely come into the picture. Indian fast bowlers or Pakistani fast bowler for that matter. You mentioned about two spinners. It's not about what they have. It's about what can they do on the park on a given day. Imad Wasim that you talked about, I think he's a very intelligent cricketer. According to me, he's somebody who bowled in first 6 or first 10, first 6 in T20 cricket, first 10 in 50-over cricket. But young lad like spinner, he will find it a little difficult, and especially a big game. Do they have people around who will put their arm around him and say that, you got nothing to lose, go on? He didn't have a very good outing as far as the one test match is concerned in West Indies. Started off very well in T20 cricket. But one game is all you need to become a star. He can have his day and, take a couple of wickets, and other guys can charge up. Because they'll be charged up. Let's not forget about that. Pakistan is not playing that much of a cricket what India is playing. India is playing a lot more cricket than them. So this is one way for them, or one, way to show the world that we are good enough. We want to play more cricket. If they do something well, especially against India, they have that chance to do it.
Well, I think we have talked about a lot of players, but this is time to put the onus on the captains, Virat Kohli and Sarfaraz Ahmed. They both have done good so far as captain, but as keepers of both the sides, they haven't faced each other in an ICC tournament. This is a debut kind of a thing for them. You see an additional pressure on each one of them, despite knowing the fact that there could be a huge backlash from the fans if the result doesn't fall in their favor.
I mean, you have to see why they're the captain of the side. Somebody taking over from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I think the people who picked him up as a captain or were thinking about him, he's the next one to take over from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It's not only about he's your best player in the side. His temperament is phenomenal. That's the reason why he's leading Indian side, and that's the reason why you won't see much change as far as thinking about this particular game. His aggression, everybody knows that. He'll play the same way against Kenya, the way he's gonna play against Pakistan. That is very much there. If you look at the counterpart, Pakistani captain, normally we have seen is their best player used to become their captains. That's not the case this time around. He is somebody who's a team player. He's somebody who can get the best out of their player, and that's the reason why he's leading the side. Pakistani cricket has gone through so much in last couple of years. They were looking for somebody who they can depend on, and that's the reason why they gone to Sarfaraz, and I think he's done really well. Wicket-keeper helps. I mean, like we have seen that, you can take best out of your bowlers. And this Pakistani side needs somebody like that who can get the best out of their bowlers. Batting unit has always been very inconsistent as far as Pakistan is concerned. One guy can come up and change the game on his own, or you can have 5 good guys and still don't get the result. That's completely different. But I think both of them are smart enough. Both of them are experienced enough. Won't feel that extra pressure, and it's not about them feeling the extra pressure. It's about their presence in the dressing room or in the middle, not letting the others feel that pressure. Can they do it on that way today? It'll be very important. It'll be more on Sarfaraz rather than Virat Kohli, because Virat Kohli, the guy that he's got in his side, are experienced enough to soak up the environment or the pressure or the atmosphere. it's about the more pressure will be on the Pakistani side and on the Pakistani captain.
Well, since you have mentioned Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the former Indian captain, it doesn't matter if we are here in Birmingham or if we are here in Eden Gardens, we talk about the ex-captain. What's that about Mahendra Singh Dhoni which keeps him aside of the usual guys around?
I think sometimes you don't need a title to be a leader. I mean, like, you don't need to be a captain to do the changes that you do. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has done that. We have seen it in IPL. He didn't have that cap of a captaincy, but he was doing and making all those moves. Last game, the practice game that happened in, Hardik Pandya got some runs, and he gave credit to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, saying that I've learned so much from him. His presence is huge. There's no doubt about that. When you have somebody like him who's been there, done that, and when he's sharing his stories, or when he's sharing his experience with the guys and telling that you're good enough to do it, this is the situation. Let's do that. Let's take the game to the last overs. That's what you want. And sometimes you want to hear it from the guy who's done that in the past. There'll be a lot of guys who can say the same positive thing to you, but they have not done it. So their impact will be completely different than the guy who's done it in the past, and that's what Mahendra Singh Dhoni is to you. And the biggest thing about Mahendra Singh Dhoni is that the calmness that he brings. You never know how tense is the situation when you look at his face or when you look at his body language, and that's what you need from an experienced guy.
Well, I think we have put some focus on Virat Kohli. We have talked about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but there is the other aspect of the batting lineup, that is the opening thing. But since there were recent reports that Shikhar Dhawan, he injured himself in a recent practice session, and barring that, we have an extra opener in the name of Ajinkya Rahane. If God forbid he doesn't get fit, who do you think India should get in with the opening spot?
I think if Shikhar is not fit, then you have no other option. You will go with Rahane. But I feel if Shikhar is 80% fit, he'll go for this game. Look at this game. I mean, like, or look at the way this tournament is. You lose one game, you're in trouble. You have to start really well. And this is the game that you want to play. I mean, like, I know the feeling. I know the eagerness in the dressing room, or the mental preparation that start when you're playing a team like Pakistan. You want to play that game. So if it's really, I mean, like, he can't hold the bat, or he's really struggling, that's a different ball game. Otherwise he will play, and I see Rohit and Shikhar Dhawan to start the inning for India. Is this the best option that we have right now? Yes. Are they in a good touch? That's a difficult one to say that, but that's what I see. That's what I see happening today.
Every time there's a selection about to happen, and if Shikhar Dhawan is picked, there's been a lot of talk that who is better and he is not better, and he should be in, he should be out. But every time he has stepped in, he has performed, even on the big stage. We remember the Asia Cup, the World Cup, the 2013 Champions Trophy. He has stood up and he has performed on all those big occasions. He's a big match player.
I think all this talk needs to happen before you pick up a 15. The moment you pick up a 15, that buck should stop there. Then you picked him up, then you back him. And there are things about certain guys. The reason why you pick them up, it's not only numbers at times that selects you in the side. There are a couple of other things that you feel, the temperament you feel, there are a couple of guys who's a big match player. You want to count on them. You want to give them that situation where do you think that they'll come out shining. And there are a couple of Indian guys in this side who are not among the runs, whose performance is not at the top level, but you still feel, come this kind of tournament, you're a defending champion, you have played in the same conditions. Last time this happened in England. You want to go back to your guys who's done that in the past?
Well, I think definitely. But Mr. Dahiya, we as enthusiasts, you as a player, you as an expert, we have seen over the years that we tip batting better than the bowling. This has been the phenomena which has been running from decades now. Okay, every time we go, we say that okay, we've got a great batting lineup, we've got a decent bowling lineup. But maybe for the first time in many years, we've got a better bowling lineup. I think when we need to talk about it.
Relief. What a sign. What a amazing thing to say. I mean, like, you're going to England, and absolutely correct. Our bowling looks much more superior. You have Virat Kohli in your batting side, you have Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the batting side, you have Yuvraj Singh in your batting side. I still feel the strength of this team looks like it's bowling rather than it's batting. Because on the current form, if you see, Bhuvneshwar Kumar had a fantastic IPL. Bumrah is the new kid in the block, guy to watch out for the future. He's superb. We have Umesh Yadav in our side. Mohammad Shami coming back, played a couple of friendly games. He's looking good. You have Ashwin, who's coming back after injury, but still I feel he's bowling really well. Whatever the reports coming from the dressing room, he's looking good. You have Jadeja as well, Hardik Pandya as an all-rounder. You have almost covered all the bases. And if required, Yuvraj Singh can roll his arm. Absolutely, he can do that as well. And that's the reason why I feel that he'll be in the playing 11, because you need a sixth bowler. In a shorter format of the game or any format of the game, you cannot just bank on only on the 5 bowlers. You need to have somebody will bound to have a bad day, so you have to have an option. And I think he's somebody who can chip in with a couple of overs.
Well, definitely. I think talking about the selectors and the captain, they have sit together and they have possibly picked up the best 15. They have ticked all those boxes. And regarding the fact, if one bowler fails, they've got 2 more to cover up for them. But since Mr. Dahiya, we have talked about the lineup. Here comes possibly the most difficult question. You can only select 11 out of 15, and all of the India out of sudden is not sure about the playing 11. Talking about them, I would ask you to please pick your playing 11, the Indian playing 11, the match against Pakistan, which is today.
I think it's a good worry to have, honestly. I mean, like, if you have such a good 15 that you're finding it a little difficult to pick up your playing 11, wow, good situation to be in. But it's not too difficult for me to be very honest. If I look at this side and if I look at the guys that I feel, for me, Jadeja misses out, for me, Rahane misses out, for me, it's a difficult one. But, these guys will miss out. And Mohammad Shami will miss out in my playing 11 and Kedar Jadhav. These guys will miss out. I'll have 3 fast bowlers. My fast bowlers will be Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Umesh Yadav, and Jasprit Bumrah. I'll have all-rounder as Hardik Pandya. I'll make Ashwin play in this game. He's somebody. He's got a ball in his hand. People will think, what he's going to do next. Is he coming up with something new again? That's what he talked about. And a very confident lad. You need that. You need that, guys, when you're playing a big game. Somebody who's very confident about his skills. And batting lineup sorted for me. Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit to open. Number 3, Virat. Number 4, I'll have Dinesh Karthik. And Yuvraj Singh, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Ashwin. And then Bhuvneshwar Kumar go on, Hardik Pandya after Dhoni.
There's something strange about this. Everyone, they talk about Ravindra Jadeja as a left-arm spinner, who's done well in England in past. But since you have dropped him out and you have asked Ravichandran Ashwin to be the part of the playing 11, I would like to brief a bit about this decision. Why would India drop a left-armer who is equally good, no doubt, but why Ravichandran Ashwin would be playing instead of Ravindra Jadeja?
Well, honestly speaking, I'm not dropping Jadeja, I'm picking Ashwin. It's
the other way.
Yes, it's look. You just started your question with saying that it's a difficult 15, where you'll find it tough to pick up your 11, and that's my 11. I'm saying that I would, go that way. It doesn't make that, Jadeja becomes a lesser player or he's not a good enough player, but you can only play 11. For an experience, for his confidence, for captain's confidence as well. There are times when Jadeja has played in Virat Kohli's side and we have not seen him bowling his 10 overs. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind. And Yuvraj Singh can bowl a couple of left-arm overs if you need them. That's the reason why I feel. Although, yeah, it's a debatable that Jadeja was playing IPL throughout. He was in the side, didn't play a couple of games, but played all the games in the end. Ashwin didn't play that tournament as well, but Ashwin had a fantastic test series before that. If he's fit, if the team management think that he's bowling the way they want him to bowl, or the way he wants to bowl, he'll be my first pick. Whether you think that number suggests the other way around as far as the English conditions are concerned, but I'd still play Ashwin ahead of Jadeja.
Before wrapping up, I've got a couple of questions to seam up things. Mr. Dahiya, there is some kind of a discomfort going on. All those reports, they're suggesting that there's a tussle between the head coach and the captain. Just before the Champions Trophy, before the high-octane game, you would not want to listen or see such things happening. Would this make any impact on the players heading into the game?
Look at the guy that they're talking about, Anil Kumble. I mean, what an experienced guy, what a cool guy, somebody who's been asked to do this job. If you remember, a year ago, he didn't apply, but people asked him later on to apply, and then he got the job. It means you were thinking so highly of him. You were thinking that he's somebody who will take the Indian cricket forward. Unfortunately, whatever the news are coming, you don't want these kind of news to come in. And there is no right time for a bad news. It's a bad news as far as Indian cricket is concerned, and there's no right timing for that. But the moment I mentioned about these two names, the moment I said about the experience that they have, I think once they put their cap on as a captain, as a coach, all these things get out of your head. You don't think about them. These are the things to think about once the tournament is over. When you face these situations, you think about them. Right now, you're facing an opposition. Right now, you're playing a tournament. That's what you will be thinking about. And the good thing is, like I mentioned, the two very strong, mentally strong guys we've been talking about, so they know how to shut these things out of their mind and be a true professional and think about the game. They have bigger responsibility. One is the head coach, one is the captain of the side, so they have a bigger responsibility to look at.
Well, possibly my last question for the day, Mr. Dahiya, India, they are the defending champions. Now, what do you think of them making how far into this tournament?
Defending any sort of a title is not easy. This Indian side, as far as this current game is concerned, looks very solid. It'll be very tough for India to win, to be very honest. And you're bound to have a tough it's a tough tournament. You have top 8 teams playing in this tournament. It's not going to be easy. Conditions not going to make it easy for you. India will play really out of this game. I'll be very honest, if they get into the last 4, I see, if they have a good start to today, I'll see them getting into the last 4. But it'll be very, very difficult for India to defend their title this year around.
Well, Mr. Dahiya says it would be difficult for the defending champions to put their hand in the ring and say that's okay, we will be winning this time round also. I think we have done all the talks. We've talked about India, Pakistan, all those batsmen and bowlers, and this needs to stop. The game needs to begin right now, and I really hope, we really hope as a unit that the rain gods there doesn't show up and we, the fans, and we get to see a fantastic game of cricket between both of these arch rivals. Till then, thank you for joining us, and I would like to thank Mr. Dahiya again for being the part with SportzWiki team, and we would be bringing him again and for the other matches. Until then, keep following SportzWiki. Thank you.